Good morning. Welcome back. Today is February 19th, 2024. We are at Hardcastle Homestead and my name is Lauren. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. It's still a baby channel, but we are excited for all of the new people listening and watching and viewing our videos. I just wanted to do a quick check-in because today's the day. I've got the heat mats going because my greenhouse is not heated and it is plastic. But today is the day we are going to be planting eggplants, peppers, and tomatoes in my little seed tray here. And having my birthday, it's totally backwards, so sorry. But I got birthday money, so I was able to actually invest in really, really good seed start potting soil. So one thing I like about this bag, and not just the bag, but the brand, with Happy Frog is the type I bought, but it's from Fox Farm. Can you see as we go down? So one thing I really like is it does break down the analysis of nitrogen, phosphate, and potassium, as well as other minerals needed in your seed starts. And this is definitely one of the ones that I know a lot of people I follow use, and this is my very first time getting to use, honestly, Fox Farms in general, because it is at my little AM Grow store. It's like $25, $26 a bag, which is a lot when you're thinking about it, but with how I'm doing my seeds this year, and I did this last year too, so I know this method works for my farm. I have these 2.5 by 2.5 by 3 inch tall, just little cheap pots I got on Amazon, an 800 pack for like $100 last year. I'm not even halfway through the box yet. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking tags, and I'm going to be writing something like blue cream tomatoes, and I'm going to stick it right here, and I'm going to plant like 8 blue cream tomatoes in this one little spot with the intentions of up potting it after they get their first true leaves on, hopefully in about a month. But I am so excited, and I will be sharing with you all of the stuff I'm going to be planting today, but I just kind of wanted to give a brief rundown of what I'm going to be doing first with the pots, because this doesn't look, I mean, a lot of people, I even do it too, like these are 1 inch by 1 inch. There are 128 cells. It's from Bootstrap Farmer. I've had them for 3 years now, and honestly, I am a very, very neglectful gardener. The little bits of damage is all because of me. If I would actually take care of them a little bit better during the actual growing season and put them away in storage for winter, I can't even think about how long these things are going to last. But even rough and tumble me, they are doing a great job. Also, all that green right there is my chamomile. I'm very excited. The marshmallows have all really popped up. I was gone for a week, however, and this is how the greenhouse door was left, wide open. So unfortunately, I think I'm only going to get one milk thistle. The other little guy that I had definitely has a frost damage on him, but that's okay. This is an experiment year. It was $2 for the seed pack. Everything else is looking good. Well, sorry about that. Maybe not everything, but exciting. My onions are all starting to pop their little heads up. So very exciting that we are getting some onions going. And another quick, just a little check-in before we go into planting all the seeds I'm excited about. But look, we have tulips and more tulips. So some of these, you're gonna go flying for a second. Whee! So I don't know if you guys can see, but if we look really close down on there, you can start to see actual greenery. This one, not so much. Remember, this was all a gamble. It was going to die if I left it inside, but look at that. A month later, and the iris rhizomes are starting to look amazing. We've got little nubs sticking out of the tulips, and the same over here. It's very solid. Don't know if you can see it from that angle, but just a tiny bit of green. There's a fresh baby right there. Are sticking out, and that is so exciting because, I mean, I was a very naughty garden mom. I did not plant these in the fall when I was supposed to, and this just goes to show, yes, I did not follow the most optimal growing guides, but even if there are moments where motherhood or life, whatever it may be, gets the best of you, throw it in the ground. Just try. What's it gonna harm? Because if I left those inside, by the middle of spring, I'd probably just throw them in the trash can or the compost because they would be even more further gone. But I didn't. I threw them in a container, and now I'm gonna have tulips and irises. The daffodils haven't started showing anything amazing yet, but when I touch the actual bulb in the bottom down here, what I'm noticing is they're still firm, so I'm just going to continue to watch and experiment and see how that's going. I did also, fun fact, when you go away for a week and you have a low tunnel and water can't get in, you're kind of going to take the risk of murdering your plants, which I did. So the cabbage, broccoli, and makeup kale that I planted, none of it survived the 5 days I was gone at my parents' house because I forgot to tell my hubby, hey, go outside and water the plants, which normally, if I remind him, he does a great job with it. He's never intentionally killed any plants, but I also have to be intentional in myself setting him up for success to remind him, hey, while I'm gone, you have to water the garden. Fun news in the garden, though. The garlic is looking amazing. I'm about to pot the elderberry plants as well. I'm going to do propagated elderberry. And if you are local, I'm going to be doing the elderberry, $5 a pot for a 3 to 5 inch pot, depending how big the stick is. I do the Bob Gordon elderberry variety. I'm Springfield, Missouri, if you are based around here. And if you are interested, just drop a comment below. Or you can find me on my Instagram page, Hardcastle Urban Homestead, and we can get connected to get you some elderberry because I have a 9-foot tall elderberry plant I put in the ground 3 years ago. It is huge. It produces a lot, and these berries are bigger than what you would find in a ditch line on the side of the Missouri roads, which is also where they are common because elderberry is native to our landscapes when it comes to our natural native landscapes. Yeah, garlic's okay. The lemon thyme is still looking bushy, but I haven't seen any new sprigs come out, which is okay. We've cleaned up 4 of our rose bushes. One got dug up because it's going to be moved, and one needs to be dug up, but I just didn't get there. And then I still have 2 more in the backyard to prune and 4 in the front to prune. And with my rose bushes, not everyone does this, but for the sake of my family and the safety, ooh, don't you see the mess? Here, let's have the background of my greenhouse. Sorry. It's a very messy yard. I don't plan on cleaning until next week. But also, I'm outside with a nice coffee on my birthday in February. There is no snow or ice on the ground, and I'm comfortable. I'm not freezing. I have flip-flops on. This is a great birthday, and I'm so excited. Let's see what else is going on. So yes, the rose bushes. We need to clean the patio. And we're actually going to be taking out all of my pollinator garden right here. And I think on this back wall below our kitchen window, I want to create like a little family sitting area that can look out at the garden and use the covered porch for Honestly, just more practical uses. Right now it's kind of a catch-all storage area, so I want to turn half of it into storage, and the other half is going to be for us when it comes to like grilling outside, holding the propane tanks, because don't tell my husband, but he is getting a Blackstone grill, the propane grill, for his birthday, which we are close in birthdays. His birthday is in 3 weeks. But I need to clean off the patio so it can fit. I need to clean up all of my old containers, see which ones are still salvageable, which ones are not, bring the dumpster back here, start getting everything organized and ready for spring. So all I have to do and focus on when it is time for growing is growing and not cleaning, which would be great. Let's see, what else? Well, I can't think of anything else. So we're just going to enjoy this free birthday coffee from Starbucks, and we will get to it on planting tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants right now. Here we go. All right, guys, here is my warm weather crops seed container, and I've got my Clyde's garden chart. And my last frost date used to be April 15th, but I swear it gets later and later. So I have it set. One thing I love about this is it goes over, it has your spring side. It also has a fall side. But this red line is for your estimated last frost date, which really helps in guidance when you may be in a situation where you cannot afford a plan on like Seed Time or Veg Grow or some of the other apps that are out there. This is a great option. I think they're only $5 or $6 still. You can see mine is well loved. But you set it to your last frost date. Let's just pretend mine's April 26th. And what you can see here is start inside is SI. And then FP is first outdoor planting dates. So a lot of the stuff up here is our cool weather crops, and when you can start them outside versus start the seeds inside. Then when we get down here, you'll notice peppers, tomatoes, those have little asterisks by them, and it's just a recommendation, but it's not something to live by. They're saying April 5th is when I should start them. But knowing how my climate is, and knowing how, sorry, the dog's totally rolling in the mud right now. He's loving life. But just knowing how long it sometimes takes peppers, tomatoes, and eggplant to get going, I start mine more 8 to 10 weeks. And I will transplant up once in the greenhouse. And then they'll all get their own dividers, but I start them in the pots early, clumped together. Their roots are not as temperamental as other produce, so it's okay to separate them and to gently mess with the roots whenever you go to transplant them up. So I will be bulk seeding a individual tray going forward, but first let's get into my box. Let's see, my last box had Baker Creek advertisement in it. So I am getting a label maker from my brother for my birthday, and my plan is to put a label maker little note here, so this would say cucumbers. The good question is, here's eggplant. I usually keep them all bunched together because I plant them all at the same time. Here's my tomato, here is my pepper. I do love the rainbow colors. And then I did have to make a quick stop by Lowe's because after 30 minutes of digging in the house, I threw up the white flag and said I will run to Lowe's and buy overpriced tags for my seeds so I can start them today. And I will place an Amazon order later to get a refillment. Refillment is totally the wrong word. But to refill my stock, so at least I have some on hand in my greenhouse. I totally have probably 500 still sitting somewhere in this house, but I do not know where I put them during the winter. So, welcome to ADHD. If it doesn't have a home, it doesn't exist anymore. So, without further ado, let's go on our goals here. So, eggplant, I'm not going to do a lot. I do not eat a lot of eggplant. But I do have seeds that are really getting up there on their dates. And I don't know. I've tried a few. So I tried the Real Black, Melanze Rosa di Rotunda. These were really cool. I gave most of them away though in the summer because I didn't know what to do with them. So I may save those for a little bit later if I find inspiration. I'm actually going to stick with this eggplant because they just produce really well. I got the plant seeds in 2021, so I need to plant all of these out this year. So this is the one I'm going to be going with. Actually, wow, I left it empty. That's not normal for me. My garden house trash floor. So this is going to be what I'm planting. Astracomb eggplant, and I'm just going to use a single cell tray. I'm going to dump all the seeds in, which looks to be about 24, so I may use 2. I'm just going to make sure it's nice and level on these 2. I take a pinch and I just sprinkle them all the way through for both sides. When this situation happens, my friends become seeds start rich. And while I know I could sell these, I very much could sell these, and this is not something that I'm saying I'll do forever with giving them away free. I lightly cover them because with seeds, you don't want to bury them any deeper than like double their size. Because a seed, based on its size, it has a predetermined amount of energy within it that will actually be able to try and break through the soil to get light to do photosynthesis. So you make sure not to plant your seeds too deep, but also don't plant them too thin or close to the top either. It's quite an art form, and you just kind of get a hang of it as you go. But in this case right now, I don't do anything special. I just kind of eyeball it. Just be mindful when you are planting. If the seed is tiny, surface to a light dusting. Things like carrots, lettuce seeds. But when you get bigger seeds like sugar snap peas or cucumbers, make sure to be mindful that you are planting them about twice the size as their width. Their width, not their height. And that will be a good guide to how far to plant them in the soil. So part of my goals with what I'm planting this year is to be more intentional. And I realized last year I planted way too many cherry tomatoes. So, sorry. About ready to get talking to you guys about tomatoes, which I love, before I do the responsible thing, which is actually writing a label or 2 for the eggplant I just planted. Watch me have to look and watch the plant grow before I figure it out later on. These are stupid tall. They're the only thing Lowe's had, but I needed something today because it is my birthday and I demand to be in my greenhouse on my birthday. So, real simple note, these things are so stinking tall. It's like this part itself, my hand is about 6 inches from palm to tip of middle finger. So 6 inches for the pot and then the label on top. This is gonna look ridiculous. But I don't care because I'm gardening on my birthday and it makes me happy. Don't judge me, Mom. You don't know me. I don't even remember what show that's from. Don't judge me. You don't know me. Can you believe this is how desperate I was on my birthday. I bought 10. Each container has 10 of these for $2.49 a pack. And I will probably spend $10 for 1,000 pack online whenever I go to place my Amazon order. I cannot believe it, but desperation. Don't judge me. So I think this year, going back into the conversation of tomatoes, my goal is for production this year, but also flavor does have importance here. So I will not plant 12 cherry tomatoes because I don't eat them, and I thought my daughter would eat them and she didn't want to eat them either. So I'm going to go more slicers and more paste kind of varieties. Just to get a better harvest. I mean, they're not all going to be red, but I'm only going to grow probably 2 varieties of cherry tomatoes. And I don't even know which ones I want to grow. I mean, I've got a lot of really cool new ones I want to grow. And I probably will grow all of them. Because I don't know what self-control is. This is one of my favorites. Cherokee Purple. I'm in a lot of different Facebook groups. And anytime someone asks, what's your favorite tomato and why? Cherokee Purple. It's great in my zone. It has great flavor. And it does great in the heat of summer for me. It is my best producer. The mushroom baskets were really cool last year. Trying to find... Like, I like these. They were okay, but they were definitely bigger than what I was expecting for a cherry tomato. They were way too big for a cherry tomato. And the skin was hard, so it was really frustrating to try and eat them fresh while gardening. Snap peas are more my thing. These are amazing. I will probably plant 2 of these, so I will pull that aside. It's one of my other favorites. I think I'm out of seeds actually in this one. Paul Robeson for sure. I have tried several wild boar farms. I'm just not in love with the packaging. I bought it the wrong time, so it's nothing against the farm. I bought it the wrong time, so the varieties they had there were not necessarily varieties that I like, but others may. And I've had others grow them that love them. I will be growing Dr. Witchy's. And let's see. Here we go. Blue cream berries. It's one of the few yellows I love. So we'll grow that one. Maybe one more. I'm trying to find a specific one. And I might have used all the seeds last year, but it's a black cherry. Cherry tomato, but it's called black cherry. Let me go through these one more time. I have a lot of tomatoes. But I don't love eating fresh tomatoes, which is the funny part. So purple tomatillos. They can be with the ground cherries. Some of these seeds I will be donating this year to different nonprofits that want to grow different plants that I tried them and didn't love them. Let's see. Now I'm gonna be sad. Nope. Yeah, that I guess the 2 I'm going with this year then will be the blue cream berries and the black strawberry tomatoes for my cherry tomatoes. I do also like, sorry, awkward angle. I do also like to grow extra seeds. Let's see, these are from 2022, so I'm going to grow them a little bit thicker so I can mentally prepare for germination rates being lower. I'm only going to do 1 pinch or palmful. Hey! I'm only going to do 1 palmful of seeds for that one. Alright, so while I plant, I'm going to be honestly going through a little bit more of a time-lapse style I will pause to share other varieties as I pull them out. Otherwise, if I didn't do it, this video would totally be like easily 45 minutes long, and no one has time for that these days. So without further ado, we're gonna go into a time lapse. See you on the other side. Alright guys, so now after going through supplies, it's okay because I have a lot of tomato seeds, but some of my favorites I'm out of stock in. I don't know if they'll still have seeds, but my black brandy wine I'm out of. My Paul Robeson, one of my favorites. I did have black cherry. Don't know how I missed it 2 times going through the box, but I found it. And then I put them in the seeds. So we're doing black cherry and blue cream cherry tomatoes. So it's going to stay in this pile though because I love it. So this is going to be my pile for reorder. Black strawberry was out when I opened it. Hey garden baby. Uh-huh. Yeah. What? What? Oh. Cherokee Purple, another favorite that I'm out of. Boxcar Willie. And then, I mean, I'm out of the Martino's Roma, but I'm probably not going to get more because I have plenty of Romas. And it didn't strike me as one that I wanted to keep forever. Also going through my tomatoes after growing a few years in a row. I don't love the green zebras, so I'm going to donate those. I do not love these because they are so prolific to the point that it's a nuisance. I just didn't enjoy growing these, but I know a lot of people love these. Same with these. These would be fun for kids with just picking the fresh little baby tomatoes off, but I don't have a purpose for them since I don't love fresh eating tomatoes like that. And then I didn't love the purple bumblebees, so all of these are going to be donated to where I used to work with the Boys and Girls Club. So going forward, let's start with the big boys. I'm going to be doing this Italian variety, Genoveses. I'm not even going to try pronouncing it though. Kellogg's Breakfast, Cuyostrali tomato, probably butchered that. And then Dr. Witchy's, if I have any seeds in here, but it doesn't feel very hopeful. And Hillbilly Potato Leaf is more of like a bigger slicer. Orange Oxheart, German Johnson, Mushroom Basket. This is one I love from Wild Boar Farms, and it's the pink brandy wine since my True Black's out. Jersey Devil, Sans Marzano. And I've got 2 of these, so I'm going to plant heavy on the Amish paste because I plan to do a lot of tomato sauce and tomato soups this year anyway, so I'm going to have to plant a lot of these. So without further ado, we're going to get into planting, and I will see you on the other side of the time lapse. Alright guys, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 tomato varieties right now. I still have this that I didn't even realize I sat to the side of the mat. Napoli tomato, the Moneymaker tomato, and the Carbon tomato, which also all 3 I did really want to grow. Kind of just doing a check-in really fast. I'm gonna do these next really fast off camera to save time. In case you're wondering, I'm putting between like 5 to 8 tomato seed plants in each one of these. However, in the Hillbilly Potato Leaf pot, which Their leaves look like potato leaves, just like I believe Brandywines also are a potato leaf variety. It's just the variety of tomato that their leaves look like potato leaves. Nothing weird or different or cross-pollinating or anything like that, though. Just a name. But because those were bought in 2019, their germination rates, I did this last year, and I feel like I should trust my gut. This is not going to be good. I should trust my gut, and I should have only planted 10, but I told myself, no, germination rate goes down after each year, and it just keeps going down over time. It does not mean the seed is not valid, but it just means that you're going to have lower germination rates. That's what I thought last year, though, too, and I grew this one variety that was also from the same year, and I put like 30 seeds in one container, which is about how much I put in the hillbilly one, and I had like 25 plants. So if you ever need like validation that seeds, while yes, their germination rate goes down, some varieties, some types of specific seeds last so long. Do not give up on them. Just plant them. Try and see. And worst case scenario, you're not going to have any food, but you weren't going to have any from it anyway if you didn't plant the seeds. So plant your seeds and take the risk and see if you get the food. All right. So, stepping off my soapbox again. I'm going to keep going. And when I come back in just a half second, we're going to be talking about the peppers, which I'm running out of space because I also grow a lot of peppers. But I love eating peppers fresh, so we've got a lot to cover on the pepper side. I will see you in just a minute. Promise. I promise. It'll be just like that. And just like that, it has only been a second that we have been away from each other, even though I've been walking around my backyard since I did talk about needing to clean it anyway. And I went around and found old tags from last season. I still had in the ground. And we are going to repurpose them, since I will definitely run out of tags before, one, I can place the Amazon order, but just even to do the peppers. So, without further ado, so much dirt. I love it. It smells so good in here, guys. Fresh soil, potting soil. That's what dreams are made of. So we've got some fun ones, though. I hope you guys are ready. Let's set you guys up on in the tulips. Using an iris stem to hold you up. We are doing pumpkin spice jalapenos for sure. If you ever want, and let me mark out her last name. Find friends, share seeds, save so much money, and get to try so much more produce in your ground. My friend from back home, who we've grown up together, we went our separate ways, we've reconnected on social media. Like, we grew up elementary, but different groups, like different grades, but we always knew of each other. And her little sister and my little brother were in the same grade. Her and her family got a bunch of seeds, and she was like, hey, you want to do a seed swap? And so she sent me, because that year I couldn't afford seeds, she sent me zinnias that year, jalapenos, a whole bunch of different seeds, and she wrote little notes of like, it's from this place, this is the title of it, it's packed for this year. And it's something, even when I run out of the seeds, I'm gonna hold on to, because that made such a difference in my garden that year, and I will never ever forget that. And now I want to do the same for others. So those extra seed packets we're going through right now of things I don't want to grow again, that's what I will be doing, is putting them in pouches with handwritten notes. We've got mulatto alino pepper. I don't know, it looked pretty. I do want to grow that. This is one I'll be donating. I tried the habaneras. I think I'm going to be donating these, mainly for the fact that while I do have my daughter, who is young, and these are great for kids, they have great flavor, They are just like a habanero without the heat. I didn't use them at all. King of the North, I will be donating. I will be planting these. These were amazing. They were prolific, and the flavor was on point for my salsas. These were a free seed packet. I will be donating these. The flavor was great, but the peppers are just too small. I can grow bigger peppers for the same type of heat scale without all the work. These are new. Ají mango pepper. These are South American pepper, if I remember right. I don't know if they will actually give me something on here on it. All I know is I see Food Network use this spice a lot, the ají varieties of pepper. It's getting very popular, so I want to try it as my like substitute for the other heat source from the Detel. Orange spice jalapeno will be growing. Sorry, gotta get comfy. The purple beauties will be growing. Shishito peppers, these are amazing. I will be growing. I've grown those before. And lemon spice jalapeno. Anaheim peppers will be growing. Poblano peppers, I need to order seeds. I'm out, but I will be growing. I will be buying more of that seed. I will be donating. It's a great bell pepper, but my bell peppers just do not do well here, so I've learned after 3-4 years, I'm gonna grow all these different other type of fancy stuffing peppers and spice peppers and just have more fun with it. Oh look, I really like this pepper. I bought more thinking I was out this year. And I will be donating because once again, bell pepper, I'm going to, most likely if I get in the mood to actually grow a bell pepper, I will probably just go to my local nursery, and they do really good deals on their pepper plants, usually mid-May. Like a 4-pack for $2.49 of bell peppers. And I can focus on these more unique brands, or not brands, but unique varieties of pepper, and then get the thing that anyone can get at a nursery later on. And that's kind of the game plan going on with that. Another thing, I'm not gonna, well, I might try this one. If you've ever had like Hatch chili peppers that are in the store in late summer into fall for football season and like chilies and stuff, you can collect the seeds from the stuff in stores, and I highly recommend if you do that, grab the organic ones while you're at it, if that matters to you. If not, just pull the seeds and try. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. The rest of these, they're way too old. I'm not even going to attempt them this year, but there were a bunch of different seeds that I just pulled. Like, I still have poblanos from the grocery store. I do know I grew the poblanos from the grocery store last year and not a single seed came up. So I might just dump this whole thing in a single tray, like a little seed starting container. See if 1 or 2 pop up. If none pop up in the next few weeks, though, I'll just buy some more from Baker Creek or probably the nursery, because the nursery had poblanos last year and that's how I got them. Also, I grew seeds. So I had a lot of poblanos last year. But with that note, I am going to throw you guys back on the time lapse. Now we've gone over the seeds that I'm going to be growing, donating, or that I'm out of and need to reorder. And at the end of the time lapse, I'll see you there, okay? Alright, guys. And that is the last today's plantings. The sun is starting to go down more. I think we have done a really, really good job, though. There you go. Getting our first round of warm weather crops planted. Kind of going over greenhouse maintenance. And I'm going to turn you guys more towards me. Let's see if the irises can hold you up there. So going more into the maintenance. I've got 20 by 48 long heat mats on my tables, and because I'm outside in a greenhouse, I do use heat mats through the winter, which if you're doing this inside, it's a completely different story when it comes to heat mats and your lighting system. I am doing this out in the greenhouse though, so I've got the natural sunflower light during the day, and then heat mats that run during the day if it's cold, and then also at night, just to make sure the water stays warm enough. But especially when you start planting things like eggplant and peppers, their baby seedlings do not like dipping below 50 degrees. So it's very important in this first stage of planting your stuff, when it's related to peppers and eggplants especially, you have to watch your forecast. Trust me, if it's dipping below probably 45 in here at night, I will be bringing these in, or at least setting up a greenhouse little heater right about here that can blow directly on my seeds as they're growing once they come out of the soil. Right now they're still down in the soil, so I am not worried about the foliage getting stunted, because when you do grow at a lower temperature, you have the risk of stunting your plants and they may not recover. And you're either looking at needing to start completely over, or in the best case situation, I mean, your tomatoes, they can recover, but they're still going to be stunted. Whereas your peppers and your eggplants may never even produce anything. So you're investing all this time and you're not going to get a good harvest. And then it's really going to taint that experience that you're going to have if you are a first time or a new gardener. And heed my words, but also don't be once again afraid of failure. You're not going to be perfect at gardening your very first season or two. I'm well over a decade into gardening, and I'm still learning. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to continue to just grow your knowledge. So, with words of encouragement, be mindful of your babies, but also understand there's only so much you can control, and there's nothing wrong if that control gets away and failure happens, because it's a lesson learned in that moment. What I will say though is this video is getting ridiculously long. It is my birthday and I'm so happy to be here with you guys on my birthday. I will be quickly editing this and posting it tonight because it is my birthday today, Monday, February 19th, 2024. I turned 36 years young this year. I just see age as a number. I'm not worried about announcing my age, so don't worry about that. And I am just feeling incredibly blessed. Not everyone gets to get this far, and I'm one of those, I see birthdays and celebrations as a celebration of getting an experience that not everyone gets to get. Not everyone's this lucky. And I hope if you're in a place right now where these words are connecting with you, resonating with you, giving you hope, you're not alone, and we're here together in this, even though we're not necessarily together right now. I'm in my greenhouse alone by myself, but this is my happy place. You are loved. We can do this together. Find your community, find your village, If you don't have a community and village, I will be that community and village for you. I hope you guys make sure to go outside and get dirty. Bye.